This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Wednesday, March 3. In Squiz Kids today, Cyclone hits Queensland. Kid plays Fortnite for cash. State of Origin heads to Adelaide, and introducing the Froot Loops pizza. That's what's making news, kids style.
The Lowdown.
Towns in far north Queensland are in for another wet and wild few days as Cyclone Niran continues to hover off the coast of Cairns, gathering strength. Late yesterday, Niran had been upgraded to what is called a Category 2 tropical cyclone. Earlier in the day, it was still considered to be a Category 1 cyclone. A Category 1 is basically a big rainstorm. Category 2 is when the winds start to get a bit wild and homes can be damaged. Categories 3 and 4 are hectic. Winds can start to lift roofs off houses and flooding and power failures are common. A Category 5 tropical cyclone? You want to make sure you have somewhere really safe and secure to take cover if you encounter one of those. That's when winds can reach up to 280 kilometres per hour. And not much remains standing once one of those storms has passed through. Meteorologists worry now that Niran will continue to hover at sea, gathering strength, before moving east towards New Caledonia, a collection of islands in the Pacific Ocean. Yesterday, banana farmers in far north Queensland were surveying the damage to their crops caused by Niran's winds, and a grand total of 38 schools up north were closed for the day. Stay safe up there, friends.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in California in the US, where an 8-year-old boy has become the youngest person ever to be paid to play Fortnite. What? You mean you can get paid to play Fortnite? Hold on there, cowboys and cowgirls. Before you go getting any ideas, consider this. Joseph Dean, who's just been signed to the professional gaming outfit Team 33 and received a sizable sign-on fee for his troubles, cannot play in competitions for which there is a cash prize because of his age. He won't be able to play in those comps until he's at least 13 years old. And that's because Fortnite, which I know some of you are familiar with, is considered suitable for kids 12 and over. So, make sure you have your parents' permission before dabbling. His mum says Joseph is also a really good piano player and that he only gets to play Fortnite when he's done his piano practice, which Joseph says has helped his gaming enormously. The moral of the story? Do your piano practice before you pick up the joystick. And for extra points, clean your room.
Sport time.
Calling all sports fans in Adelaide. Are you ready for another hit of State of Origin? I know, it's the wrong sort of footy. This rugby league business makes little to no sense to you at all. If it's not AFL after all, it doesn't really count as football, does it? But the folks who run rugby league in Australia have nevertheless decided to treat all of you Radeladians to another State of Origin clash, confirming yesterday that one of the 3 matches of the 2023 series will be played at Adelaide Oval. 2023? Yep, you heard right. That's 2 years away. Think of it this way. That's 2 years for you to study the rules and try to get your head around it. Quick tip, it's where Queensland takes on New South Wales. Friends in Melbourne, you've got altogether less time to learn the rules, or to give a hoot. Every year, at least one game of the 3 State of Origins is played on a neutral field, and Melbourne has pulled the lucky straw this year, when the opening game of the Festival of the Boot will descend on the hallowed ground of the MCG on June 9. Get amongst it.
Pop Culture Corner.
Here at Squiz Kids, we like to keep you across all the latest trends. And in popular culture right now, there's one trend that has caught our eye. It's called a Froot Loops pizza. And this week, debate over whether it's a genius idea or the most disgusting topping to ever grace a pizza base is raging hot. A pizza restaurant in Iowa, in the United States, came up with the recipe a couple of years ago, and they reckon it's been a bestseller ever since. You take a pizza base, smother it with cream cheese, sprinkle a few cupfuls of Froot Loops over it, drizzle over a sauce made of yogurt and condensed milk, and, here's the kicker, sprinkle it all with cheese before sticking it in the oven. Now, I've got what you'd call an adventurous palate, and I'll pretty much try anything once, but I reckon a Froot Loops pizza is where I just about draw the line.
Q&A call out.
Just when I think I can't be impressed or surprised by you guys anymore, you go and come up with some super excellent questions for our upcoming Q&A session with the Aussie scientist who put the Perseverance rover on Mars, Professor David Flannery. We've had a flood of questions from curious Squiz Kids, budding astronauts everyone, including how long did the mission take to plan? Were there any challenges with the landing? How do you fuel a 7-month rocket journey to Mars? How do you remote control a Mars vehicle from Earth? And, my favourite, how many times did you fail and what did you learn from those failures? There's still a couple of days left if you want to send your question to be amongst those we put to Professor Flannery. Send your questions through to squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. And don't forget, there's a bunch of links to Perseverance resources in today's episodes if you need some inspiration, and there'll be a prize for the best question.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. Which popular online game has an 8-year-old kid just been paid to play? That's right, it's Fortnite. Question number 2. Which city in Australia will host a State of Origin match in 2023? You got it, it's Adelaide. Question number 3. What sugary breakfast cereal is a pizza shop in America putting atop its pizzas? Yeah, it's Froot Loops.
Shout outs.
It's March 3. Today is the United Nations World Wildlife Day, to raise awareness of endangered species of animals and plants. This year's theme is forests and the people and animals that live in them. There's a link in today's episode notes if you want to find out more. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Tiana from Menai, Shazan from Sydney, Lexi from Perth, Sage from Gaythorne, Ashton from Camaray, Quinton from Maryborough, Ned from Brisbane, Taylor from Curl, Bella from Temora, Bruce from Eastwood, Talia from Coniston, and Lola from Ferny Creek. Happy birthday one and all! And today's classroom shout-outs go to Mrs. Thompson's 6A students at Townview State School. 3 Blue and their teachers Mrs. Snell and Mrs. Wickens from St. Elizabeth's at Tarragindi, Class 5D from Narrabri Public School, all the Year 5 kids at St. Christopher's in Holsworthy, and Classes 3B and 4D at Hunter Valley Grammar School. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. And don't forget to tell us where you're from and how old you'll be. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out. Squiz Kids is proudly supported by the Judith Neilson Institute for Journalism and Ideas.
Squiz Kids.
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.